Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and in this video, this is actually going to be the first collaboration on this channel. So today we have Andy from Bitcoin Census. Say hello, Andy. How are you going?
Hello, Josh. Thank you very much for inviting me to your channel. We've just done a collaboration on my channel, which was absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, I'm doing absolutely wonderful. I think there's very interesting moments right now in the market. Are we going to continue higher, go lower, recession? There's so many things that we can take into consideration. But anyway, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great as well. I'm doing great. And just to let everyone know watching this video, I have actually recorded a video of my own over on Andy's channel as well. So if you want to get my daily analysis for today, definitely check that out. It'll be the first link in the description and in the pinned comment to head over to Andy's channel and check out my video over there.
Yes, sir. So yeah, I mean, interesting times, Josh, right?
Absolutely.
What's going to happen? What do we have here for the next coming months ahead? It's going to be very, very interesting to see.
For sure. So what are your thoughts on the market right now in the near term or the longer term? What do you have in mind?
Well, I think there is going to be a little bit of sideways momentum, potentially some bearishness. I think that $25,000 range, the June lows, are going to be retested at some point in the next coming weeks, maybe next coming days. But I think there is a possibility to go down there. And if you want, I can share the screen and give a brief explanation on why that could happen. So right over here, what we do have is the higher time frame. I know you were talking about this also on my channel. These vertical white lines are the Bitcoin halvings, and the 4-year cycle is something that to take into consideration, because for the moment we have been following the 4-year cycle very nicely from previous cycles. So from all-time highs here, this is in December of 2013. We can see here December of 2017 and November here. There was a few weeks off here, November of 2021. So it's basically 4 years from top to top. And something interesting, if we just go to the latest cycle is, from the top to top, it's been 4 years. There's a few weeks of different, but nevertheless, it's very, very similar. There's been exactly 1 year of bear market, give or take also that 1 or 2 weeks, right? From December of 2017 to December of 2018. Same thing happened right over here from November to November, right, of 2022. So exactly 1 year as well here. And even this rally that we've had in 2023, the timing has been almost the same, right? Or entering into July, and also here in July, this is when we were topping out here on the previous cycle. So for the moment, all of those people that saying, past performance doesn't mean that, future results, but it does rhyme. In this case, it's exactly the same. We cannot deny it. We've actually been, forming the same movements here with timing. So if we were to continue following it as we have been doing, you would expect, the market to do something like this, right? Entering into the halving, right? So we've got the halving here around about late April of 2024. So we can expect some bearishness here in the next coming weeks, in my opinion, even a few months. Now, it's very interesting to see, what is going on with the US, what is going on worldwide. Are we going to see a black swan event? Are we going to see a recession? It's just, we never really know, if that is going to happen, because nobody knew that we were going to have that, C19 crash, right? That was kind of a sudden news. Nobody knew that was going to be that such of a drop happening. So we could say, yeah, something might happen, but, we just need to go with the cycles. We need to go with the sentiment. We got spot Bitcoin ETF as well, potentially being approved in 2024, which is obviously a massive event for the price of Bitcoin, because that means that a huge amount of institutions do have access to buy Bitcoin safely, right? Like BlackRock, they'll be buying spot Bitcoin and they'll be having their ETF, so institutions can actually invest. So the price needs to go up, in time once that happens. And with the halving in April of 2024, everything aligns up that, hey, it looks like that we could have a massive bull run, mid 2024 entering into 2025. Everything points out that everything is going very nicely with this massive Bitcoin uptrend. The only thing that could stop it would be a massive recession, right? Even a depression, right? Where, we need a total reset on the economy, stock market crash over 20, 30%, a massive exchange like you mentioned on my channel as well. Obviously, the FTX collapse from November here of 2022 was definitely a significant drop here it was around about $5,000 approximately of a drop.
Mm.
So just say it's pure speculation. If Binance, Binance is too big to fail, right? But FTX as well. We're not saying that it is going to happen, but what if it did happen? Obviously, I would be expecting a massive drop. However, that could bring us into a huge major opportunity, because usually when we have these major events such as the C19 crash, such as the FTX collapse, you can see that was a clear bottom signal, right? If you would have bought that collapse, that would have been, a great opportunity. You would be in significant gains at the moment, just not only on Bitcoin, on different cryptos. So overall, my point here is, yes, I'm very much aware of the next coming months being a little bit bearish, but I think the next 6 to 12 months max is going to be the best buying opportunity here, in my opinion, for Bitcoin. Obviously doing that DCA, because a lot of people are calling for 9K, 12K Bitcoin. This time's different. A lot of people I was here in the previous cycle as well. And a lot of people, since we had that drop in December of 2018, and also influencers and other TA guys were saying $1,000 Bitcoin is very, very likely. And that never happened, of course. So if we are just focused on, I'm waiting to buy Bitcoin at 9K or 10K, it's just, you might miss the chance of buying Bitcoin at, 24K, 22K, 18K, right? Would be a very, very bearish scenario, in my opinion, for the next coming months. So, the best deal for me, the best strategy would be doing that DCA the next coming months. Because if you're waiting for a bottom, if you're waiting for Bitcoin 10K, you might miss the chance. If you were waiting here for $1,000, I can already tell you obviously missed the chance for massive gains, right, in Bitcoin crypto. So my point of view is, I think I am leaning a bit more bearish for the next coming months, but entering into 2024 and the halving after that is going to be pretty exciting. I think we will be entering that huge, massive bull run because of a potential spot Bitcoin ETF approval as well.
Yeah, that's awesome, that perspective. That's somewhat similar to my perspective. You'll see over on Andy's channel, if you head over there, I have something similar to say as well. And how I view it is basically 10K Bitcoin for the bear market low. It was kind of like the 100K Bitcoin target for the last bull market. Everyone was looking at 100K, and it just didn't happen. Whereas this time around, everyone was looking at 10K. So far, it hasn't happened. And but missing the bear market lows is almost worse than missing the bull market tops, because with the bull market tops, you might just have to wait for the next cycle in 4 years. Whereas if you miss the bear market bottom, you might never get that opportunity again. So yeah,
exactly. Yeah. My average buying price on Bitcoin was around about $8,000, because I was doing a lot of DCA in here mid 2018, then the drop, then the pump at 12, 13K. So I got an average price. I really did. It really didn't matter. Of course, the C19 crash was that massive event that my portfolio was down like 60-70%, right? In just a matter of 2 weeks. And that was crazy, because I was like, oh my goodness, I've been dollar cost averaging for 2 years. And then this happens, right? But
just all goes away in one day. Yeah.
In just a couple of days, I'm like, wow, my portfolio just dropped. I've hardly have any reserve cash to invest, because I very much recognize that this was a great buying opportunity. I did have some, but I wish I would have had a bit more on the sidelines. So this time I do have a little bit more cash on the sidelines for any type of event, right? To actually step in quite aggressively, very much knowing that with history that all of these events, C19, FTX collapse, and all the Mount Gox, there's so many different collapses that was a signal of a bottom. So we just need to be ready for any type of collapse, of anything in the next 6 to 12 months, because that would probably signal the bottom, and we need to be ready to step in, because they're just the best buying opportunities. So like I said, anyway, the best thing to do, if you want to try and spot the bottom, DCA, because my average entry price was around about $8,000 or so. And then obviously when you're trading at $55,000 range, then it doesn't really matter if you bought Bitcoin at 6K or at 10K, right? You're still making significant gains at the end of the day. So
exactly. Yeah, that's right. You don't have to time the exact bottom or exact top. Just as long as you get most of the bull market or most of the bear markets, it's fine. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So do you have any last thoughts for today, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, DXY as well. I mean, I'm also, because we do very similar TA, you also do daily technical analysis. I do take a look at the DXY, take it into consideration. And no doubt that it's been in a huge, massive rally here for the last few months, since mid-July. The question is, will it have a cool off at some point? There is a series of lower highs right there that I do believe, is going to start facing some resistance. We are hitting right now the 50% Fibonacci from the pivot high created here in September of 2022 to the pivot low. We just like slightly, beneath the 50%. We tried to get above it, which is obviously a crucial fib level. And it's also in confluence with, these lower highs right there, as you can see on the chart. So it's like kind of testing that zone. So, and we have been pumping very aggressively. So, I mean, it does make sense that we could see a little bit of a cool off, right, on the DXY for the next coming weeks. Obviously, that would help Bitcoin to get a little bit of a push up, possibly in the coming weeks. But if we do go to, I'm actually quite bearish, Josh, looking at Bitcoin in for the next couple of months, right? If we do take a look at this chart, there is a bump and run scenario here happening, but I am not too convinced here with the volume that there is and the impulsive move. I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware of this bump and run pattern here, as you can see with this picture right there. So, it just looks like a possible reversal, and we could go to much higher levels. I am not that convinced that this is a very solid breakout. The reason why there's not too much volume, and because we have been pumping quite aggressively since the beginning of the year, right? And this kind of price action, there's a bit of a double top, scenario here, a little bit at the $32,000 range. And everything points out, when you do take a look at Elliott wave theory as well, we've had too many impulsive waves here to the upside. And it looks like that we're likely going to have a lower high here created at some point in the next coming days or weeks. It could be 28,500, the pump that we had a few days ago, that could be the high. But overall, $29,000-$30,000 range, I think the price will not likely go higher than that zone. And then come back down and test the lows here again at 24.8K, which is the June lows. That is my personal opinion, of course. It does look like a little bit bearish. I think we could have a lower high here created, just because on the futures exchanges as well, we have created a lower low. It's curious because on the spot exchanges, this low was not created. If you go to Coinbase or some other spot exchanges, this drop that we had on the 17th of August didn't test the June low. And that is a bit disturbing for me. It's like, we need to go to these lows on spot exchanges as well. And as as looking at, basic market structure, a lower low has been created right there. So for me, it makes sense to create a lower high at some point and then have an attempt to break down this zone. Of course, entering, at the end of the year to possibly one of the best buying opportunities, right? Which would be trading in between 19K and 25K. I think that is a really nice spot to do DCAing, in my opinion.
Yeah, that does definitely make sense, because I'll tell you, 2023 so far definitely reminds me very much of 2019 as a pre-halving year, where we've had that quite large recovery out of the bear market in the early part of the year. But now we're kind of starting to drift back off a little bit in the second half of the year. And back in 2019, that's very similar to what we saw. So that does make sense. Yeah.
Well, that's a bit about it, Josh. I think, we've got a very exciting couple of years. I think the next 6 to 12 months can be very disturbing on macroeconomics. And, we don't really know what's going to happen. I think I do see the possibility of bearishness, but how low can we go? That is the question. Well, it doesn't really matter. I'm an investor also as a trader. And as an investor, I just see this as an opportunity to dollar cost average.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, honestly, this was a great perspective. Definitely something new to my channel, first collaboration on my channel. So definitely got to do this more often. And so thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Josh, very much. And hopefully we'll do one very soon as well.
For sure. And everyone watching this video on my channel, don't forget I recorded a video over on Andy's channel. Check that out in the link down below in the description and in the pinned comment. But that's just about everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.